Hello everyone. This will be my second part of Beatles albums from the UK for my collection. But I'm very excited because my previous video about the first part of my UK collection got so many views, thousands upon thousands, and upon it they came many new subscribers. So I'm going to welcome my new subscribers. And to my old subscribers, of course, I appreciate you. You are loyal to my channel. I hope everyone enjoy it. Anyway, before that, I want to give some shout outs that I haven't gave in my previous one. First of all, to Bobby Gas from Canada. How are you, Bobby? Sad to hear that Robbie Robertson have died. He's one of your idols. And to Robert Z. How are you, Robert Z? Long time no see. But I'm watching your videos and it's really amazing your MFSL collection. MFSL collection, music fidelity. It's just amazing. Now, before I start, again, as I show you before, this is several records that I have in my collection that are pretty interesting about the Beatles. And first of all, there's a Canadian, mentioned Canada, original for Twist and Shout. And there's a Chilean Hardest Night here. All of them are very rare and, as you can see, very nice. It's German album collection on Amiga label, the official DDR at that time, and the Italian help, nel film auto, on Disci Parlophone, whatever. A Japanese collection here with the Obi strip, an original Mexican on Mozart, which is unbelievable rare. If we are saying, we're talking about rare records, this one is the Greek Rubber Soul with the champagne cover that is known for the Beatles in Italy, and an Uruguayan Hardest Night, yeah, whatever. Okay, so now to my collection, my second part of Beatles albums from the UK. First of all, I owe you an album from my first part. If you remember, I told you that I'm waiting to another export album, the third one for my collection, basically the fourth, but still it's the fourth or fifth. It's something new. As you know, in America and the US, on Capitol, here it's on Parlophone, EMI. And if you remember, the export records, the albums were made especially for the American soldiers that were stationed in West Germany during the Cold War in the 60s. And this is the Parlophone label here. Out, so beautiful, and it's on the gramophone here on the side. It does inscription gramophone and not Parlophone, which I think is basically the first pressing of this export. There were two pressings, or maybe three, I think, but this one is the first. Okay, we continue our journey to Sgt. Pepper. This iconic album, of course, by the Beatles. This is a first press from the UK. As you can see, it's not in the best condition. The spine is not great, but what is interesting here is the inscription here that you must look for, fourth proof. Fourth proof means that it's an early pressing of the first pressing, and there were few that were made, so it's rare as hell, although it's not in a perfect condition. The they added some kind of insert or postcard or whatever to it to cut. I don't think this is an original one. It's made in England, printed in England, but I think the previous owner put it in. It's a reissue, I think so. There's no inner, the original inner sleeve is not here, but still there's a great label, great album, mono. This is a mono, of course, PMC. It's also written on the cover, PMC 7027. A very rare early pressing mono for Sgt. Pepper, Lonely Hearts Club Band. And I have, of course, another copy. This time it's so-called an ordinary monocopy in great condition. As you can see, shiny all over. And no fourth proof here, but still it's very, very nice. For this copy I have the original psychedelic inner sleeve and an original true insert or whatever, cardboard. And the mono vinyl label, the same as the one before. Now a first-person stereo, here it is. Again, a very nice condition. The spine is, let's say, VG, whatever, VG plus, but otherwise it's great. And another inner sleeve, original one. This time it's PCS 7027, which means it's a stereo album for Sgt. Pepper. Here is the original insert. Now, the next copy of Sgt. Pepper, yes, I have another copy, and it's not the end, is a very unusual and very quite rare edition of Sgt. Pepper, the white spine pressing. And in comparison, I'll show you the thin spine before. It is thin white. Also, I have the inner sleeve, the insert, and the record is stereo pressing. Okay, next one. The next one is a reissue. First two reissue here. The one boxed from 78, I think. Of course, there's no inner. Psychedelic inner is missing. Still, it has the insert inside. Next, two, not one, picture disc. First one is from the 70s. I think it's from the 70s or maybe early 80s, which is an official one, UK official. Same front cover, as you know, front cover picture on both sides, and the true cover of this picture disc, and the one that was made just lately in 2017. Beautiful one. The back hype sticker. You can stop your pause this video and watch it, and the cover that it was oust. picture disc was Austin, and the back cover. Finish with the Sgt. Pepper. We are going or coming to Magical Mystery Tour. But if you know, Magical Mystery Tour was not pressed in the UK back in 1967, like in the States or in other places around the world. It was made on double EP with a small booklet. But in 1970, again I think 78, maybe 1976, the British decided to make one with the booklet inside intact. And this is basically my early copy of Magical Mystery Tour that I bought back in 1983 in HMV, Oxford Street, London. I have another copy of UK Magical Mystery Tour, but this time it's really from 1978. It's yellow vinyl, official yellow vinyl Magical Mystery Tour from the UK. Not easy to obtain nowadays. Now we come to the iconic double white album by the Beatles from 1968. But before I'm going to show you my copies, I want to show you several extras that I've got. You know, the added poster to the album, 4 photos I'm going to show you later, and black inner sleeve. And I have some extras here, 2 posters and 4 extra inner sleeves that I put inside this nylon. Now, the first copy that I have here is a mono copy, a mono pressing, which is very, very rare indeed. And if you can see, you know, they numbered the copies. I have here 0034168. 5 digits, only 5 digits. Which means it's a very, very rare item. The Beatles is, of course, embossed. It's a top loader, and of course it's a gatefold, like here, fully laminated. And because it's a top loader, here the first of all is the vinyl with the original label. You can see we just sold in the UK, and it's a PMC, of course, PMC 7067. As I mentioned before, 4 photos. First of all, there's John Lennon and Paul McCartney, and then this one is a spacer. It's just white paper, but it's very rare to find one. They put spacers in all the, I think, maybe first 1,000 copies, or maybe 2,000 copies. Of course, people just throw them away. One left for me. Very rare to find. Georgie Porgy and Ringo here. And again, this top loader. As you can see, it's not perfect condition. You know, the white album made on white cover, so the white cover really there are copies from truly white to terrible black. Again, the top loader. So here it is, the known poster. This is an original, brilliant condition poster, uncensored. Paul McCartney here, if you know the story. And the inner, great condition. And the other record, second record here, also inside. Next one, Next copy is basically a stereo pressing, another first pressing stereo. The number is 04780002, and it's immaculate condition, whitey white, brilliant. I want to show you, you've seen the stuff, okay, the same, but as you can see, the condition is brilliant, and it's a stereo, yeah. Also, the labels are stereo. Next one, well, next one, if you look at my previous, one of my previous video, I dedicated one to this copy. This is the truly mega rare Holy Grail of the Holy Grails by the Beatles, an export white album. Will you believe it? Now I'll put a link at the bottom, and you can look what it is. This one is truly amazing and in a very nice condition, as you can see. Okay, the next one is from 1970. This is a fourth pressing. The number is 279950, I think, maybe 9, maybe 0, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, it's basically the same, except it's not a top loader, but a side loader. Yeah. I'll show you what it has inside. No black inner, and no sold in the UK this time, and in a very much lighter apple on the label. And of course it's a stereo one. I have all the other things inside, photos, the poster, intact. From the iconic white album to a much, as I say, less appreciated album, and it's of course Yellow Submarine. But I have really very interesting copies to show you. I still miss the export Odeon. Maybe I'll get some in the future, I don't know. But I have this copy. This is a truly mono original. Now, this is the last mono that the Beatles made, and it was sold in few quantity, small quantity. And but this copy, this mono copy, which is of course an original one, I will show it to you. This one here, and this is the mono with the true inner, black inner, the mono label, PMC 7070. But this copy is some kind of a mispress, unusual mispress, because this is the front cover, this is the back cover. Yes, indeed. And it's very strange, you know. There's the some kind of special cut that here, I don't know if you can see it. Not here, the other way around. It's all opposite. You know, if you can see some kind of things very strange. I think it's a mispress from the factory. Of course, it's a mispress from the factory. They turn the sides around. Okay, so this one is a mispress, and I also have another one. But this time it's an original first pressing stereo Yellow Submarine. The thing to look for at the cover is the red line here. Okay? And for the vinyl, have the sold in the UK, manufactured in the UK, sold in the UK, an EMI recording. This is the true first pressing. Here's another pressing of Yellow Submarine. This one is a second pressing, an early second pressing. As you can see, it's still got the red line here on the cover, but it doesn't have the sold in the UK on the label. Still a dark label, dark apple label. My first copy of Yellow Submarine was this one. As you can see, it was bought in HMV in London back in the early 80s. This is the 80s pressing. This is the back, no red, no colors here. And the 1983 label, pale apple, light pale apple. Different layout for this reissue. My last Yellow Submarine that I'm going to show you here is the truly very nice indeed, the mustard Yellow Submarine. It was made during the 90s, I think, the late 90s, 1999. This one, which as you can see here, made in England, is gatefold, very nice, from the movie, and it's on yellow vinyl appropriately. And now we're off to this album, Abbey Road, many people's favorite album by the Beatles and by other artists. This is the truly UK original. The thing to look for on the cover is the misaligned apple here. The aligned apple, other copies, ordinary copies, is just under these letters. This is a misaligned, which means it's the truly first copy, the rare one to get. And another feature here, this is of course a dark green apple for Abbey Road, PCS 7088. The thing here is that there's no mention of a Majesty song. The last song on the album is not mentioned here on this pressing, which drive me into the other pressing that I have. Another first issue, first pressing, but with a Majesty, another misaligned apple. And by the way, just noticed, you see the sticker. I've seen it before here. As you can see, this is the export. So I gathered that they are both from the military shop back in West Germany during the 60s. Both of them says $2.50, $2.50. I got them from different sources, so it's not from one person. Anyway, we continue. As I told you before, this is one with a Majesty. It says a Majesty. Okay. Well, I got another copy of Abbey Road. This time it's a line apple. We can see here. Made in England, back in late 70s, 78. They made a glossy inner sleeve this time, and a green vinyl. Nice. It's another rarity. We are reaching the end. Still, we have few. The next one is again basically an American album that was made as an export in the UK, maybe in 1972. The original was made in 69, late 69, maybe early 70s, I think 69. This one is early 70s issue from the UK. The catalog number is an export one, CPCS 106 stereo. And the vinyl, of course, a pale light apple. If it's a pale light apple, maybe it's not 72, I think it's maybe late 70s. I think they made 2 runs of this album in England, the UK. Okay, the last official album by the Beatles, their iconic catalog, during the 60s until the 70s, 1970, the time when they disbanded, broke up, is of course Let It Be, the movie and the album. And in the UK, the original one was in a box. Brilliant box. This is an original box, all kinds of things in it. I'll try to show you them. It's very delicate, quite flimsy. First of all, the album, which is the original one in the UK, is on the red apple, the back. Now in the US, the ordinary copies were on the red, but in the UK it was green. And to get a UK red apple is very hard to find. It was only made for this box. Laminated, complete laminated, front and back, inner sleeve, original inner sleeve from the time of the album, of this album, and the original label, the dark Let It Be label. So this is the album. Now we have all kind of goodies in this box. Try not to, as I told you before, it's very, very delicate. First of all, I have the book, the Get Back book, as they used to say, complete, attached, in a beautiful condition. And of course I have the tray and the inner box, as you might say, and a surprising poster, which is quite rare. So this is the Let It Be box, the UK one. By the way, I've got an Israeli one, showed you before, and a Canadian one, and maybe another one, I don't remember. Anyway, my first copy was this UK that I bought in the UK. It's an 80s pressing, I think. A reissue. is with the light pale apple. My last Let It Be copy is again another rarity. It was made in the late 70s. It's on the white vinyl. Beautiful one, an official one. Now, I should have ending this video now, but I still want to show you, maybe because they're gonna reissue it in a few months time, probably, the iconic collection of the Beatles from 1973, the red and the blue double albums. Now, I don't have the UK original from 1973, but I do have the first reissue from, I think, again, 1978, with the hype sticker, which means it's a red vinyl. Now, it's a PCSPR 717 gatefold with the inner cover and the red vinyl. I won't show you the second vinyl here because it's the same. Only want to show you the blue one. Now the blue one is also an insert of previous records here, and again, gatefold, and it's really nice blue vinyl. And the last things that I'm going to show you is the 1993 reissue of the same albums. The red one, same inner, the same, sorry, gatefold, with this hype sticker. The inner, this time it's here, like this, another UK, and a special insert we put on the 1993 version. And the blue one with the hype sticker, the blue inner, and the blue vinyl, and the beautiful insert. That's it. That's my, let's say, my complete UK catalog or collection by the Beatles from the UK. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I get many views like the previous one and many new subscribers. I'm gonna do many videos in the near future for you to enjoy. So until then, bye bye from Ali.